Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're doing something a bit different, really practical.
Yeah.
You sent us some study materials, specifically practice questions, for the AD0-E606 exam on Adobe Journey Optimizer. So think of this as like your cheat sheet to understanding the really key concepts.
Exactly. We've been, digging through these questions to pull out the insights that really matter. We're talking customer journey orchestration, data management, all within AJO. So whether you're actually prepping for the exam or you just want to get a handle on how it works, well, this should be useful.
Okay, sounds good. Let's jump right in then. Question 1. This is about getting those real-time journeys up and running. The question asks, before you can activate a journey triggered by real-time events, what's the essential first step? Your options are scheduling it, defining profile attributes, making sure the event schema is enabled and mapped to an identity, or uploading sample data. What's the absolute must-do here?
Right. The correct answer, the critical one, is ensuring the event schema is enabled and mapped to an identity. And this is, well, it's fundamental. It really gets to the heart of how the system even understands what's happening in real time.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit.
Yeah.
Why is that mapping so critical? Like, what's the connection we need to grasp?
Well, think about it. A real-time event, maybe someone browsing a product page.
Right.
It's just a signal, right? Now, to make that signal actually trigger something personal for that specific person, Journey Optimizer needs to know who sent it. So enabling the schema and then mapping it to an identity, maybe their email, customer ID, whatever, that's how the system connects the action to the individual.
Ah, okay.
Without that link, the system sees an event, sure, but it doesn't know who to talk to. It's like your phone rings, but caller ID is blocked. You don't know who it is.
Gotcha. That makes perfect sense. Okay, next up, email testing. Something definitely key to avoid those embarrassing mistakes. The question is, which feature in Adobe Journey Optimizer lets you properly test email delivery and, how they'll actually look before you hit send? Options are Channel Performance Simulator, Prove Email Functionality, Journey Debug Mode, and Email Preview API. Which one's our go-to?
That would definitely be the proof email functionality. It sounds simple, maybe, but honestly, it can save you from a world of pain.
Oh, absolutely. We've all seen those epic email fails, right? So beyond just checking the look, what's the real practical value? Why rely on this specific function?
The core benefit is right there in the name, proofing. Before that email hits, thousands, maybe millions of inboxes, you send test versions to yourself, to your team. This lets you see it exactly as a customer would check rendering on different devices, different email clients, make sure the links work, dynamic content is pulling through correctly. It's basically your final quality check. I actually heard about one case where a proof email caught a massive typo in a discount code like minutes before launch.
Wow.
Yeah, that little step saved them a potentially huge headache and cost.
A real save. Okay, question 3. This shifts to keeping recurring campaigns relevant. What setting ensures that when you run a campaign again and again, it only targets profiles updated since the last run? The options: enable dynamic segment refresh, reprocess identity stitching, use calculated metrics, or use a static audience. How do we keep those lists fresh?
The key here is enabling dynamic segment refresh. This really points towards a more, let's say, agile way of managing audiences, more customer-centric.
Interesting. So how does dynamic segment refresh give us that agility? What makes it different from, say, a static audience?
Okay, imagine a weekly abandoned cart campaign. If you use a static audience, that list is fixed when you first create it.
Right.
So if someone on that list does go back and buy the thing, they'd still get the abandoned cart emails the next week.
Right, which is annoying.
Exactly. Dynamic segment refresh avoids that. It automatically rechecks who qualifies each time the campaign is about to run. So if someone purchased, they're automatically out of that segment for the next run. Keeps the message relevant, better experience for the customer, and more efficient use of your resources too.
That makes total sense, respecting where the customer actually is. Good. Question 4 delves into identity. What's the fundamental role of the identity namespace when creating customer profiles in AJO? Choices: defining data retention, linking disparate data records into one profile, determining journey variants, or filtering attributes. What's the core job here?
The core function, the really big one, is linking disparate data records into a single customer profile. Think of it as like the master key to understanding your customer completely.
Okay, so why is that unified profile so darn important? What benefits does it actually unlock for our marketer?
Well, think about all the ways someone interacts with you, right? Website on a laptop, app on their phone, opens emails, maybe buys in store. Each interaction creates data. but often in different silos, identified differently. The identity namespace is like the translator. It tells AJ, hey, this web visit, this app use, this purchase, same person.
Oh, okay. It connects the dots.
Precisely. By linking these records, you get that holistic 360-degree view, their behaviors, preferences, their whole journey. This unified profile is what powers true personalization, consistent messaging, accurate insights. Without it, you're just seeing pieces, like trying to have a conversation hearing only every third word. That's marketing without unified profiles.
Great analogy.
Right.
Very clear. Now, question 5 is kind of the flip side. What stops a profile getting into a journey? Which condition prevents a profile from qualifying? Options: a custom entry event, being a control group, an unlinked identity namespace in the schema, or having previously exited a campaign. What's the blocker?
The showstopper there is an unlinked identity namespace in the schema. This actually loops back to our very first question about the importance of identity mapping. But this is the negative consequence if it's not done right.
Okay, how so? What's the direct result of that missing link for journey entry?
Well, if the namespace isn't correctly linked in the schema, it's like having an address with no street name. AJO might get data about an event or profile, but it can't properly tie it to a specific known customer in the system. Because it can't make that connection, the system just doesn't recognize the person for that journey's rules.
But even if they did the right thing.
Exactly. Even if they meet all other criteria, if that identity link is broken, it's a fundamental barrier. They just can't qualify. It has to be there.
Makes sense. The system can't find the right person to let in. Okay. Question 6 is about smart messaging. What lets marketers automatically stop sending messages in a journey once someone converts? Options: set an exit condition based on a profile attribute, use a suppression list by campaign category, implement a retargeting suppression rule, or rely on real-time profile recalibration. How do we avoid annoying people post-purchase?
The answer is setting an exit condition based on a profile attribute. This is all about making journeys intelligent and reactive.
Right. So can you walk us through a quick practical example? How would that work?
Sure. Let's say you have a nurture journey for leads aiming for their first purchase. Maybe the last step is a discount code email. Now, once a lead actually buys something, you probably update their profile, right? Maybe customer status goes from lead to customer, or has purchase flips to true. So you configure an exit condition in the journey. If has purchased is true, then exit this journey. Anyone who buys is automatically pulled out. They don't get more emails pushing for that purchase they already made. Better experience, less intrusion, and you're not wasting sends. Simple but effective.
That's brilliant. Feels much more tailored. Okay, question 7, focusing on personalization. When setting up a decision rule for personalized content in a journey, what's absolutely essential? The choices, data retention policy, offer weights, eligibility criteria, or profile event logging. What's the non-negotiable part?
The essential element is definitely establishing eligibility criteria. That's the core logic. It decides if content is relevant for this person.
Okay, why are eligibility criteria the key? What do they let us actually do?
Eligibility criteria are basically the rules of engagement for your content. The specific conditions a profile has to meet to see a certain offer or message. Think like simple if-then logic. If favorite category is shoes, then show new shoe arrivals.
Oh, wow.
Without clear criteria, the decision rule is just guessing. It doesn't know who should see what.
And you risk showing the wrong thing.
Exactly. You might show irrelevant stuff, maybe even annoying stuff. Undermines the whole point of personalization. It has to resonate.
Right. Useful, not just random. Okay, question 8 is about testing, making sure things work. Why would a marketer use a test profile in AJO? Options: generate reports, analyze audience overlap, preview content and validate logic, or trigger real-time alerts. What's the main goal?
The primary reason is definitely to preview content and validate the journey logic. It's all about checking your work before it goes live to real people.
So it's like having a virtual guinea pig customer.
Exactly. Test profiles let you simulate a specific customer type going through the journey. You see how content looks for them, check if decision rules fire correctly, if emails trigger on time, if the whole flow makes sense. It's a fantastic way to catch errors or weird behavior early on before it impacts actual customers, like a dress rehearsal before opening night.
Makes total sense. Prevents those live fire drills. Okay, question 9. Behind the scenes now. What's the main function of a sandbox environment and Adobe Experience platform when you're building journeys? Options: report cache, isolating data in configs for safe testing, logging schema errors, or delivering to a test audience. What's the sandbox for?
The correct answer is that it isolates data and configurations for safe testing. The sandbox is, well, absolutely crucial for keeping your live environment stable.
Okay, why is that isolation so vital? What happens if you don't have a sandbox?
Huh. Well, imagine you're a chef trying a totally new, risky recipe. You wouldn't test it during the Saturday night dinner rush, would you?
Definitely not.
A sandbox is your test kitchen. It's separate. You build, configure, test new journeys, new data flows, integrations, all without any risk to your live customer data or active campaigns. Without it, any mistake during development, a bad configuration, broken code could mess up real customer experiences, corrupt data, big problems. It's a safe space to experiment and learn without fear of breaking things.
Love that analogy. Test kitchen, safe space. Got it. Okay, final question, number 10. Measuring success. Which component in AJO helps marketers analyze journey performance across different customer segments? Options: segment discovery layer, journey insights dashboard, real-time reporting queue, or customer profile merge policy. Where do we look for those insights?
That would be the Journey Insights dashboard. That's your central command for understanding how your journeys are actually doing with different audience groups.
So what kind of useful info can we actually get from this dashboard to, make our journeys better?
Oh, it provides a ton of data, visualizations too. You
Yeah.
track your KPIs, not just overall, but broken down by segment. You can see how many people from each segment entered, where they might be dropping off, conversion rates at different points, the whole picture for each group. This segmented view is super powerful. It shows you which segments love your journey and, maybe more importantly, where you need to tweak things to better engage other segments. It's all about data-driven improvement.
These questions, they might be for an exam, but they really highlight the core stuff for making Adobe Journey Optimizer work effectively, right? It's about data, identity, orchestration all playing together.
That's the essence of it, getting those pieces right.
So for you listening,
Yeah.
thinking about these building blocks, this power of real-time data, these unified profiles, what maybe unexpected or innovative ways could you use these tools to create really personalized, really impactful experiences? Something maybe we didn't even cover today. That's something to think about. Thanks for diving deep with us.